Good morning, all. Happy Friday, Juneteenth. If you're off today, enjoy it. Make some good memories, you know? If you're lucky enough to have it off, enjoy it. Spread some goodness in this world, right? I was just getting ready and something came to me. Something Candace said yesterday just popped in my head, and she had mentioned that she was happy, and it's good to be happy. Everybody deserves to be happy. Everybody. There's not one soul on this earth that doesn't deserve to be happy. Although there are souls on this earth that just take it upon themselves to create havoc in people's lives intentionally. Everybody deserves to be happy. And something came to me. It's not so much that I'm happy. I wouldn't say that I'm like screaming from the rooftop and just pure happiness. I would say that I'm at peace, that I am grateful, that I am filled with gratitude. And I think when you get to a place in your walk where you're just so much filled with gratitude and gratefulness for the experience of life, for the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the unfavorable seasons, and the seasons that don't make any sense, and the people, places, and things that are strategically woven in your world, in your reality, in your life for the benefit of you, because there's things that are within you that you need to fix and change and heal through. And when you start kind of looking at life through those lenses, you learn to find peace and gratitude in all walks of life, even the ones where you don't feel per se happy, but you're grateful and you're blessed. So often enough, everybody's fighting for happiness, fighting for whatever is important to them. But they can't quite pinpoint what truly is important to them because they're too busy in the grind of life that they forget the true experience and meaning of life. And sometimes when you get in that zone, you get in that grind, you make choices and decisions and get associated with certain things that you per se wouldn't have got associated with before. If you were in a position of life where you were feeling at peace, you were grateful, you weren't quite looking for something else outside of you. You weren't quite looking for that next big thing. You weren't quite looking for the desire to always be right, to always prove a point, to always manipulate a conversation, and redefine the meaning of certain words. I find that to be so trippy when I'm in conversations with people and they take it upon themselves to redefine the definition of a word, and they use it for the benefit of them to manipulate a conversation. And I just am at a place in my life where I just don't have space and energy to go debate and tit for tat in a conversation. It's just too draining. I've had to do it so much. I don't have the desire. There's no desire to prove a point. There's no desire. I'm just living, trying to survive, trying to stay alive. There's that venture of it too. Just trying to stay alive. My gosh. I've been seeing a lot of videos in reference to cults, secret societies. There's a presence of that. Definitely. Just alongside the private military contracts, there's a big presence of that too. In my community, definitely. In every community, really, at this point. And it's unfortunate. People get placed in positions, people get provided certain choices, and both choices are unfavorable to them, and they're also on the other side just trying to make sure their livelihood is taken care of and their family's taken care of. And I get the aspect of that too, and it's just one of those things. It's a dang shame where people get placed in their world, and they get in such a certain position where they desire money and status quo and power, where they will take it upon themselves to plan people's deaths for life insurance plans. They will go sideways when people do pass away of their inheritance. And I've seen it all. I've seen it all within my family, and it's so eye-opening for me, because at the end of the day, I know as well as I sit here and I make these videos, the reason why we are where we're at today and why nothing has surfaced is because there are so many intricate woven pieces and decisions and choices that a plethora of people have made that are very dark, they're very dirty, they're very illegal. And when one person gets caught, the whole scenario gets caught, because believe me, they're not going to be like, if I go down, I ain't taking y'all with me. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a situation. And so it's like we're at a point in the precipice where it's like, I scratch yours, you scratch mine. I'll keep carrying the false facade and the fake mask, and we'll be on our merry way. We got away with it, but at the end of the day, it's one of those things where you never get away with something because it eats you up alive. And then you start wearing it on the exterior, and then you start making really crappy choices. And then you start acting sporadic. You start creating illusions. You start doubling down on tactics. And you start turning families against each other, you know? Like, that's my biggest thing. Is like, in reference to everything in the correspondence between me and my son and how far they've taken it with me and my son, it boggles my mind that there are people in this world that will create and conjure up manipulative tactics and illusions and psyops and psychological warfare and spiritual warfare against a mother and her child, intentionally to make the mother go crazy, to make the mother act out of character, to make the mother, better yet, want to take her own life. And you can't sit here and tell me that these things didn't transpire, because I hands down know they did. I'll have a debate all day and see, this is the reason people don't want to have conversations with me about these things, because they know I know. And so that's what lands us where we're at today. And it's just, it's so eye-opening to me, because it's like, at the end of the day, all of these decisions, all these choices that were taken, and the reality that I found myself in was all towards me, but it never involved me, right? And so it's unique to me, because I understand the other side of the fence of where all these people were at in their walk and the choices that they were provided. I also understand the trauma that they have had up until the point when they started making these decisions, as well as I know the social conformity, as well as I know the compelling stories, as well as I know the narrations, you see? And so you have this vicious circle of all these decisions, all these choices that happen simultaneously every day, all day, where people get in these things and they start making these choices, and then a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, it pops up, whips you in the face, and you start recognizing, like, golly, what have I found myself in? And it's just so disheartening to me. It's so disheartening to me, because at the end of the day, there's no winner. There's no winner, there's no loser. There's just a whole bowl full of deception, corruption, betrayal, hurt, pain, jealousy, agony, greed, power control, in one big bowl. That's all it's filled with. It's definitely not filled with love. It's definitely not filled with love. It's not filled with mercy. It's not filled with grace. It's not filled with forgiveness. It's not filled with truth. It's not filled with justice. It's a bowl filled with just nastiness. And when you have a bowl filled with nastiness surrounding us all, because it does, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to have people walking around here not feeling happy. Not feeling happy. They're going to be on this little gerber wheel trying to just make ends meet, because if they choose to stay out of the bowl of those decisions and jump in with the crowd, well, you're going to be going against a crowd, a very powerful crowd. And it's one of those things. And it's just a shame. It's a shame what the world we've designed here. It really is, you know?